Hello my loyal companions, welcome back to the channel. Now Elden Ring is the most anticipated game of 2022, and if it lives up to all the hype, it's looking to be the best open world game that we've had in a very long while. As a big fan of Skyrim, the open world Assassin's Creed, and The Witcher, I've been looking for a game like this to come out for a long time. But as I scanned YouTube to try and find more information about the game, I found myself a little bit overwhelmed as someone who's completely new to the Souls franchise. So what I wanted to do is delve deep in myself and find out all the information I can so I can bring it to you guys in an easy to understand format for all of you guys new to the Souls franchise like me. And one of the most important things that I looked at, which seems to be a big factor in your character and your development as a character, is going to be your stats. So in this video, I'm going to break down exactly what each of the stats are so you know what they mean when you get into game for the first time loading up Elden Ring. So your base character stats seem to be very important within Elden Ring. Understanding these stats is really important for when you pick your base class and for when you progress and level up in the game, and knowing where you want to spend your points in exactly what stat. Your basic character stats include your level, your vigor, your mind, your endurance, strength, dexterity, intelligence, faith, and Arcane. I know to a new Souls player that sounds really overwhelming, but I'm going to break it down for you here so you know what they all mean before you have to select your class on that first day of Elden Ring. Your level is exactly what you think it is, as it is in so many other games, and it's just the accumulation of how many times you have leveled up. Every time you level up within Elden Ring, you get to put some points into some of your other stats. So say you pick a class which is a slightly higher base level like the Vagabond at level 9, you would have used 8 of those skill stats already somewhere within your build. However, if you pick a class like the Wretch, which starts at level 1, as you level up, you'll be able to assign those stats wherever you like. I've been informed by a lot of Souls players that the level doesn't really matter, and as you level up to the higher levels, you'll be assigning points wherever you want, so it's not the most important thing, it just helps you with your early game playstyle. Vigor is an insanely important stat because this is what governs your health. In a game as difficult as Elden Ring, where fights are so intense and you take a lot of damage, having a high health is going to be a really important stat for you to level up if you want to be able to survive some of these fights. Having a higher vigor will also increase your resistances to fire and poison. Mind is the next stat, and this contributes towards your focus points. Focus points are essentially like mana from other games, and therefore have a really big impact on how many spells you can use before you have to wait for that to recharge. So if you're going for a more sorcery based build, this is one of the stats you want to focus on. Endurance is the next key stat, which controls your stamina. This is going to be an important stat to upgrade if you want to work on things like how far you can move or how long you can fight without reaching that state of fatigue. This also has the bonus effect of helping with your physical defensive power, robustness, which is a stat which increases your resistance to bleed and frostbite, and also your maximum weight load of items you can carry. Strength is the next stat we're going to look at, and is a very important one because this is the first one that controls which weapons you can use with an Elden Ring. Certain weapons will require you to have a certain level of strength for you to be able to use them. Usually these are weapons such as your big great swords and battle axes, those big heavy weapons. So if this is your playstyle, strength is a stat you're going to want to be investing in. As you increase this, you will also increase your damage output that you can do with those strength scaling weapons. Dexterity is the next stat, and very similar to strength except working in the opposite format. Whereas strength governs the heavy weapons, dexterity are going to control more of your faster weapons. So if you're looking for a fast-paced, quick attacking playstyle, dexterity is the stat that you're going to want to be focusing on. This also has the added benefit of improving your cast time for spells, reducing the amount of full damage you'll take, and increasing your resistance to being knocked off of your horse. Intelligence is a stat which affects the more magic side of Elden Ring. Increasing your intelligence will allow you to access more glintstone sorceries, which are essentially your magic spells that you can use within Elden Ring. This will also increase the scaling power of those glintstone sorceries as you put more points into this intelligence stat. This is the kind of stat you want to be putting points into if you want to go for a mage kind of route. However, we also have faith, which is another type of magic based stat. Unlike the glintstone sorceries, which are governed by the intelligence stat, the faith stat will increase your sacred incantations and miracles, which are essentially a different type of magic that you might want to use within the game. The final stat to go over is Arcane, which does sound like it has something to do with sorcery, but is actually more similar to a luck stat you find in other games. As you increase your Arcane, you're actually increasing your discovery stat, which controls how likely you are to receive loot and better loot off of enemies. This does have some bonus effects, including helping with some specific spells and sorceries, and also helping you with death resistance, which is a status effect that can build up in this game, which is basically prevents you from instant death. So as a new player to Souls, I hope this has given you a pretty good idea of what all of these stats do, so that when you start picking your class, you can look look at exactly what you want out of the game in your first playthrough and can pick a class that matches what you want most, or as you level up, you can start focusing on the areas that you want to improve the most. As someone who's new to the Souls games themselves, I'm really excited for this game. I think it's going to be a lot of fun, and the research I've done into it has made me feel really confident going into it about picking the character that I think I'm going to want to start with, which I'll be going over in tomorrow's video, so you have an idea what I'm going to pick in my first playthrough. That is going to take us to the end of the video though, guys, and if you did enjoy, make sure you drop a like and subscribe to the channel. You can also come follow me on twitch.tv/RADTHARGAMING if you want to see my Elden Ring playthrough live over there. I will be uploading cut up versions from the stream onto YouTube so you guys can have a playthrough here as well as some other guide content as I learn more about the game and want to share that with you guys. For now though, guys, I hope you have a fantastic day, and as always, remember, be loyal, be brave, be relentless. I'll catch you in the next video.